Hi, I'm Jake.
And I'm Victoria.
And this is Freshly Brewed Comics.
The show where we drink coffee and talk about our favorite books.
On this week's episode, we'll be talking about our most wanted collected editions.
First, I read the brand new Shazam hardcover, World's Mightiest Mortal by C.C. Beck and Denny O'Neil. This is a very pretty book.
The Big Red Cheese.
The Big Red Cheese. I had no idea they called him that.
Yeah,
I saw the back.
That's the name.
I was like, why do you call it the
Fucking
cheese?
Batman gets Cape Crusader. Superman gets Man of Tomorrow, Man of Steel. What's Shazam? Fucking cheese.
Big Red Cheese.
Big Red Cheese.
Okay, and next I read the 12-issue limited series Art Ops by Mike Allred and Shaun Simon.
How's that?
This is a fucking cool read. It's about a guy who's he's like a high school kid, like a dirtbag. He's like the stereotypical kind of dirtbag guy. But his mom is the curator of an art operative company. It's called Art Ops.
Like the title.
Like that's the name of the company. Whatever. So it's called Art Ops. She runs it. It's like this company that saves art because art has magical properties.
Okay.
And she disappears. And the whole company, everybody that works for the company disappears, and it's up to him to take charge.
That's
and
good.
He wants nothing to do with the magic, but he has a magic arm. An
I
art
didn't even
arm.
know that. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, well, you can fucking look at it. The third book that I read, well, I really read 4 books, but we're gonna only talk about the 3 of them, is this beautiful tome, Steve Lichman.
Bye.
By Steve Lichman. This book was completely independently published, and it was funded on Kickstarter about 4 years ago. There's 2 volumes out right now. It is about skeleton king named Steve Lichman, who lives in a cave with all of his friends, Flay, Dracula, Brendan, who is a zombie, Ollie, who is a big chicken that everybody makes fun of.
Yeah, they all seem to be pretty standard fantasy monsters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
they're all
all
pretty.
like, it's standard, but it's not stereotypical, which is cool. So like, Dracula has leather jacket on, and it's a very fun book. It's a good one.
First thing I read this week, Bone by Jeff Smith. Fantastic book. Got a lot of heart. The character work in it's pretty great. You like all the characters, and the characters you're supposed to hate, you fucking hate. It's pretty great. My favorite character in the run was like Phony Bone. He was he's kind of like the Donald. He's kind of just trying to make a quick buck, but by the end of the story, you see he's a genuinely good guy.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Character development.
Yeah, it's such a good book, and Jeff Smith's art's great. I also read Shattuck, presented by Wally Wood, with art by Dave Cockrum and Howard Chaykin. Now, this book.
We can't show you any of the art in this book
No.
for explicit reasons.
Lots of yiddies.
There's a lot of honkers from Yonkers, if you know what I'm saying.
This is a pretty good book. I think it was a good quick read. You know, it's nothing too special. You could tell it was written and drawn to be disposable. Pretty sure in the back they said something about it never being officially published, and not many people have seen it. Last book on my list that I read was The Death Ray by Daniel Clowes. This was a fun read. He does a lot of like really big, like 20+ panel layouts, like as you can see.
That's very cool.
Show the camera.
And it's not too obnoxious either. It's it's well done.
Yeah, no, it definitely looks. It looks like
inundate you with like.
Yeah, no, it looks like it
panels.
belongs.
Yeah.
It's not intrusive or anything to the reading experience. But it's about this kid. He gets powers from nicotine. So whenever he he'll smoke a cigarette and then just get super strength. And you know, he's kind of scrawny, getting beat up all the time. So he just starts smoking cigarettes and beating the shit out of people, and kind of figuring out who he is as a person.
I mean, that's what I do.
So this week's topic, we'll be talking about our most wanted collected editions that don't exist. So Vic, what did you have on your mind?
I had 3 books that should exist.
Let's hear 'em.
The first one, Shape the Changing Man by Peter Milligan. There are currently 3 trades out that only collect the first 20 issues. You know how long that series is? 70 issues. You know what I can't read? The next 50 because they're not fucking collected anywhere else.
So what do you want? You want trades?
I want trades. I want an oversized hardcover. I want a standard size hardcover. I want an omnibus. I want absolute in a slipcase with the ribbon. Give me any way you could publish it and I'll fucking read it. I just want to finish it. Print it. And now that Vertigo's not going, what are they, going out of business? I can't even, they're not going to make it now.
Yeah, no, they're just fucking you over.
I'll never read that now. And it's good.
So what was second on your list?
Number 2. Number 2 is Hitman by Garth Ennis. It's a great book, but I feel like they would work perfect if they were in like 2 oversized hardcovers or 2 omnibuses or something, because the first 4 trades and the last 3 are like the same exact size. And I feel like it would be easier for readers to just read 2 omnibuses of them, since some of the books are more out of print than the others. And there's also the reprints. There's reprints and then the original pressings, and the trades are collected differently, like they're like an issue off.
Yeah.
So like it would just be easier if we had just had 2 omnibuses or 2 hardcovers or something, just to get that whole series like just collected. My third book on the docket is James Tynion IV's New 52 Constantine run. I love this book so much. I would love to see it in maybe an oversized hardcover. I know it probably it would never get to see the light of an absolute.
No, that they would do like Dangerous Habits. If they were gonna do a Constantine book,
Right, they'd probably do Dangerous Habits.
They
Or
do
like,
Dangerous Habits.
Yeah.
All right, some books that I would like. So DC recently, when I first started getting into comics, I was a freshman in high school, and by the time I hit 10th grade, I'm gonna age myself. That was 2015.
I thought you were gonna say that was 20 years ago.
They announced that they were reprinting Mark Waid's The Flash. Probably the best Flash run of all time. The only one that comes close is Jeff Johns' Wally run. But I just want an omnibus. I want an omnibus of the Waid run and the Messner-Loebs run that comes before it, which is criminally underrated. I want, because that's never been collected. That does not have a trade. I want that. That's even better. Fuck the Mark Waid omnibus. I want a William Messner-Loebs omnibus or trade collection. Mm-hmm. One of those would be cool because that's never been collected. I want an absolute Matt Fraction Hawkeye.
Yes.
David Aja, David Mazzucchelli, and Jack Kirby are my 3 favorite artists of all time. Mm-hmm. And David Aja's art on massive absolute pages would be breathtaking. And his art in Hawkeye is better than his art in Iron Fist, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what else he's done. I'm sorry. Very poorly researched.
I love Hawkeye. Hawkeye is one of my favorite books.
Yeah,
Period.
Hawkeye
It's so good.
It's definitely my top 5. Mm-hmm. Fractions Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I love the art so much. I think the writing's pretty good. It feels like
the writing's fantastic.
It feels like an image book.
Mm-hmm. It does.
It really does. But an absolute slipcase, or even just an artist edition.
I'll take an artist edition.
I dish out money for an artist edition of that book, because it's breathtaking. Mm-hmm. Now the next book on my list, I would also be okay if Hawkeye was in this format, but I want a New Gods by Jack Kirby that's this fucking big. That's it. New Gods. For anyone that knows me, New Gods is my favorite series of all time. Jack Kirby's New Gods. I am a massive fan of that. Kirby's FF. Mm-hmm. I love Jack Kirby. This book is a fucking godsend for Jack Kirby Fantastic Four fans.
Let's crack this one open here.
Crack this fucking bad boy open. Like, this art is massive.
We don't even need to hold this near the camera for you guys to see this shit.
We both have to hold it.
Look at this.
But it's Jack Kirby's art. He's the greatest of all time for a reason. He's the king.
We could have used this as our backdrop. There's one book.
Literally, it's massive. But this is it's some of the most creative stories in comics. Jack Kirby's New Gods. he creates this giant mythos of just colorful characters and wacky, zany, big dudes in fucking weird costumes. And it's just epic. It's Shakespearean. It's the influence for shit like Star Wars. Orion is Darkseid's son, and he doesn't know he's his son until the end. You know, they have a big
and then he goes, "No,
you're my father" moment. Fuck George Lucas. This is the love it. Love Jack Kirby's New Gods. I want it in a giant fucking 2 feet tall format. That would be lovely. Just to see those giant colorful panels. Yeah. And I want it in color too. I know the artist edition exists, and I plan on buying it eventually. And that's all the time we have for this week. Thanks for tuning into this week's episode of Freshly Brewed Comics, where we drink coffee and talk about comics.
Tune in next week when we do an artist spotlight on Tom King.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
That's it.
Please like this video so we can do more and up our production value.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Victoria.
And this is Freshly Brewed Comics,
where we drink comics and talk about our favorite books. Yup, we drink them. We read them and then we drink them.
Fucking drink them.
I'm Jake and I'm Victoria.
And this is Freshly Brewed Comics. Yeah. Hello everyone. I'm Jake.
I'm Victoria.
And this is Freshly Brewed Comics.
Only on Disney Channel.
No. Alright, you ready?
Hello, and I'm Victoria.
Wait, redo that.
Hello, I'm Victoria.
And I'm Jake.
And this is Freshly Brewed Comics,
where we talk about comics and drink coffee.
I fucking hit my teeth on the cup.